Why is it that conspiracy theorists always buy into the bootlicking conspiracies instead of the actual conspiracies that are going on around them? They're absolutely convinced that there's people out there that are pulling the strings, but they don't want to believe that it's the actual people who are pulling the strings. It can't be the billionaires or the lobbying groups or foreign interest groups. It has to be lizard people or deep state or something along those lines. Their problems in life have nothing to do with the fact that their bosses have not given them a raise in 30 years. It has more to do with immigrants and drag queens and trans people being able to exist in our society. That's obviously the problem. Because if they believe in the real conspiracy that the rich people are keeping them down on purpose, then that means they have to admit that they've been conned. And we have been conditioned in America to have this ego that we would rather die broke and angry than we would to admit that we got played. The boot on their neck feels familiar to them. It feels safe. It feels like the system that we were conditioned to think is the best system. Capitalism, individualism. They have been conditioned since birth to think that there are no free rides in this world. So when they see these other countries that have these amazing systems in place, they don't feel envy so much as they do suspicion. So what they try and do is convince themselves that those countries must be dystopian on some level. Because if there's a country that's able to give you everything that you need, then that country can also take away everything that you have. Sure, you have free healthcare, but I bet they have some death panels built into that son of a bitch. Sure, you may have free upper education, but it's just brainwashing on a bigger scale. And sure, they may give you things like paid maternity leave and free daycare, but there's gotta be a scam in there somewhere. Meanwhile, when they turn that lens on their own country, they don't see things like billionaires as a separate class. They see them as proof that the system works. Because deep down they think, the situation that I'm in is just temporary. One day I'm going to be just like one of these billionaires. I don't want to eat the rich. I want to be the rich. I'm just one hustle, one lottery ticket, one crypto coin, one episode from Joe Rogan from getting that dream. The truth is that conspiracy theories give them a form of comfort. They know that the world is unfair, and so if they think that there's a conspiracy behind it, that at least makes sense to them. And trying to explain to them that late-stage capitalism's what's screwing them over legally is really just kind of boring and too easy. It's so much easier to believe that George Soros is paying us thousands of dollars to protest against the good system. And if they have to admit that the billionaires are really the problem, then that means they have to do something about it, and that just sounds exhausting to them. It's not that they hate socialism, it's just that they've mistaken capitalism for religion and billionaires for gods. They don't want to question power, they want to cosplay rebels while worshiping their oppressors. The system wants us to be confused and afraid, and when we see that, we can't unsee that, and that's when change starts to begin. The truth might not be flashy, but it can set you free if you're brave enough to face it.